Hello and welcome to this episode where I'm going to host you for a few minutes. Nothing long. My name is Haider. I had the pleasure to create a company a few years back to support commercial operation in the pharmaceutical industry and regulated industry in general. And a lot of you guys, in my network requested to learn more what we do. Why are we so much helping the industries that are regulated in the background? If people don't know Kainjoo, it's a consulting firm that has a delivery arm. We have a team that is basically capable of defining transformation plan for commercial operations and using data-driven solutions to support brands to actually deliver value to the market. So we do that using creative branding, marketing technologies, and basically, this expertise we have in compliance field. So one of the topic that people asked me to comment because they were very much interested into that was this programmatic buying and persona, this dynamic persona approach that we did for some brands, especially after we managed in the US to run this successfully for medical cannabis, which is an area that is booming in the US, and people were very much interested to discover this. And the case study that I'm going to show you is something we did for a company in Sweden called Dorem Pharma around a product called Bronchovaxone. And that case study is very interesting because it helped it helped being very pragmatic in terms of the business goals of that company and showcasing the approach and methodology. So if you have any question related to, the methodologies, the approach, the drawbacks, the pain, and potentially also other question about data privacy and technology concern, you can just drop this in the comment section below. So again, OM Pharma, if you don't know, it's a spin-off, I guess, from V4. At least it has been attached to V4 at some point, and they have this product called Bronchovaxome that was pretty much a old molecule. I mean, a lot of doctors know this product, and obviously it is an OTC product that anyone can buy in the pharmacy. And as any OTC product, what is interesting from our experience to do is to do a click to brick strategy. So how can we send traffic to the pharmacies in a smart way so that people get the reflex to ask for respiratory disease prevention, right? And if they know the brand, if they have a recall of the brand, normally the pharmacist, if you do the job on the other side with the pharmacist, should know that Bronchovaxone is the right product to give. So that was kind of the idea, is that we focus on our hand with this project to push people to the pharmacy. And since 2012, like I said, we've been really doing this. How can we hit the sales of a molecule? So whatever you will hear us say in our company is not going to be, yeah, let's do a campaign. No, it's going to be, are we positioning a new product? Are we trying to catch back some sales? Are we trying to hit a new market share, right? This is what make us move. Just a few words about how we do transform. I've been using this framework for years, adapting it to new channel and new technology and new brand challenges, but it's the same. So first of all, we use a lot of social data and social listening to establish the market footprint of each brand we want to tackle. So if you have market research data, consumer journeys, patient journeys, HCP journeys, we will use that. But if you are going into digital channels, usually we want to also get some listening data or observatory data or market research that comes from social signals or online signals. Then when we know what to do, we define a path for growth and we create a presence. And this is when we create a presence, either we pilot existing teams you have inside your company, or agencies or players you have in your network. We will pilot that for you, or if you don't, we will actually hire brand tech specialists for you to do that, right? And then we will look at the data, monitor it, and tweak. And if we have to bring companies from our portfolio, from the venture capital side, we will bring those companies to make a difference, right? So we have a network of companies that are very, very smart, very, very innovative, and the combination of big tech solutions like Salesforce, ECP, all those tools, we know how to work and navigate around that, but we will also bring those fresh startups and fresh technologies to your door. And then, obviously, we will amplify, we will use community-based or influential-based marketing to amplify the work, and we will look again here at your retention metrics. So we love having funnel, calculating cost per acquisition, LTVs, cost per retention, that kind of things that we learn from, X tech companies, and we try to bring this philosophy to a regulated industry and kind of more monolithical brand. So what was the idea here? The approach was to develop for the first time a dynamic persona that will not stay within just slides, and that we can actually monitor in a data lake so that we can understand who are the people who are actually coming and getting interested into the brand, but also understanding what is the adequation of the people the brand wanted to catch up. So this vision of this gap analysis was interesting because we have bet on this project that advertising data could be as generous as market research data. And it happened that, and you will see in the project this case study, you cannot do it just without the social signals and the social listening data. You have actually to get some social listening data to get you a precise picture. But actually, advertising data is freaking good in giving you some data, right? So not personal data, obviously. So for people who are freaking out about data privacy, you can actually do quite some stuff. So the idea here also was a budget conversation because the former partner was burning quite a lot of money per click, so we've been also asked to do more. And this is basically what we managed to get to this team. It's basically a real impact on their cost per click or their cost per acquisition, if you want. So what was the idea was to also back then, Google Performance Max were all over the place, and we said to ourselves, interesting to go from keyword-based advertising to personal-based advertising and linking for the first time also Meta and Google audiences dynamically. So this is why we created 4 persona with a brand lead, and those 4 persona helped us basically get a baseline of who is the target audience for this brand. And then, based on this, what we wanted to do was to go inside the advertising and to basically build a top of the funnel ads, middle of the funnel ads, bottom of the funnel ads, and really retarget everyone from one funnel to the other. And once we do this, actually what we discover is you don't spam people. So people who are not interested into your ads don't get retargeted, which is better. So you get a better quality of interaction. And the people who do like your creative and you who do like actually that a context that is interesting for your brand will engage, and they will potentially engage going on your website and get some primary data, not personal, right, but data such as am I using the brand? Am I aware of the brand? So you get some like check boxes and that kind of thing, very like survey-like type of info. But that is enough for us to basically understand that they've been some engagement. And last but not the least, here the tool that helped us basically dynamically do that was this trading desk that we use that is called Magix. So kudos and to the CEO of Magix who created that. So very very smart tool here, and we basically created this ecosystem where we use basically a lot of Google tools actually because we kind of been doing a lot of Google work the last few years, but everything you see here is compatible with Salesforce and Tableau, ClickView, Power BI, that kind of thing. And the idea here is that if you optimize something on Meta, this could be optimized to Google and vice versa. And you see here that on this DSP or data lake, what we have is social listening or web listening data points that are injected into the DSP to actually influence the audience studio that we have on Magix. Simply put, because at some point on Meta and Google, if you say, I want to see more of that persona, you're going to see more of that persona. But we were asking ourselves, are we not locked into what we want to find? And the answer was yes. So after the learning curves from the advertising network, you have like 10 days to 2 weeks of learning curves, you get kind of a plateau pretty quickly. And to get out of the plateau of advertising, what was interesting here was to inject social data in terms of the audience studio to stress the audiences programmatically. And that will give you potentially new audiences that can work better even than lookalikes. So that is something to consider. Then, the tool gave us also some classical feedback on the content. So basically, are we going to have the right pictures? Is the right ad copies performing? What should we stop, continue, or change type of thing? And obviously, we can automate. So once you get the hang of it, and then you know that, for example, you can stop buying someone that is not in front of the screen because they usually work, or basically you increase the budget in the moment they commute and being on their phone. So these are the type of information we can now automate, which is honestly impossible to do if you have not those advanced tools. And last but not the least, as well, here on the landing pages, we started to really personalize for this persona every bit and pieces of the messages, the pictures, and that was important because it helped not only do better in terms of quality score, especially on Google, but it also helped better connecting with the audience and understanding if that was relevant for them. So at the end of the day, from a marketing perspective, it was interesting. We started to get a lot of info around the persona and the segments that we wanted to capture. So you see here, we did capture people that were in the target group of the brand, but we also captured people in a less volume, right? But we captured people that were inside the targeting because they were interested also into the brand, but they were not the exact definition of what the brand wanted in the first place, right? So in moving on, so what we could do with the data that we collected in the DSP, and this is something actually that was really not so complicated to compile. I was really, really surprised of the quality of the signals that we can get from social data and advertising data. You can start understanding the demographics, the consumer needs, the behaviors, the goals, and also the journey, because people actually talk. And once you de-risk a persona and you start to have similarities between people conversations, you can start really understanding that these are out of home people, these are more online people. So interesting data for sure for marketeers. So I will not go into detail into each persona, but what was interesting was once we started to get data back, we started first of all to understand that we did actually in this pilot and it is a small pilot, right? We've run this pretty quick to test drive this kind of technology, but 80% almost of the people we wanted to target were targeted. So that is the power of programmatic advertising, right? And the second piece that was, I think, interesting is we discovered where we lagged in terms of creatives, and those creatives coming from the creative agency. We could now come back and say, hey guys, whatever we did, this persona doesn't resonate with the message. So either we keep the persona and we adapt to their needs and cater to their needs, or we actually stop spending our money there because we really are forcing ourselves to push the information to them. And this is exactly why people hate advertising, because it's kind of automated and not really thought to be contextual. And in this case, actually, we started to have better engagement. So what can we conclude on those dynamic personas? So first of all, we have data, and not data that is static. We have data every day. So those four persona that you saw are actually moving. So we get a clearer picture every single day. And I think this is amazing if you're a consumer brand, or even if you're an Eric's brand in pharma with doctors, we could actually apply the same methodology. Second, I think the dynamic persona, what we discovered, really impact the quality of the interaction and reduce the cost per click or the cost per acquisition. So it's really something that can make a huge difference. I will say I'm sharing this also for people who were interested to do something different, so that I believe as an industry, this could actually lead to better quality of interaction. And last but not the least, on this one, I would say the approach is helping regulated industry to be compliant, because technically, if you get the consent from a data privacy and you can retarget people that are your customer base, and you have the session ID, it's your people, they are happy for you to send data back to those outlets, then what is happening is that you're not just burning trees and trying to reach out everyone randomly. You are doing actually a very precise targeting. So you are doing targeting on your customer in a way, on a separate platform. And it's a huge change in terms of how you look at Facebook, Instagram, or Google or TikTok, right? So it's not using them to steal their audience to your website. It is actually to bring your message to their website, to your customer. I think this is the way they want us to look at their platform, which sometimes comes not so clear. So, and obviously, what was also one of the learning here is that you can totally connect the persona between Google and Meta and any other platform, which is creating a huge, difference when it comes to optimizing your persona, because you optimize it in one place and you can actually push that to different outlets. So very good learning for us here. And the piece with the social listening, so kudos to our friends at Audience, because we were talking not so long ago with them, and also to others, that helped us, which are like Centesio, Brandwatch, Talkwalker, and all those people who really gave us some help in this. But basically, what was really interesting is thanks to the data from, for example, in this case on Meta with Prism, the data was really good to help us get like a baseline. So we said, okay, we have four persona, but we have one persona that is representing the social voice, right? And we could stress some patterns from the persona we got from advertising data to the social data and basically create new lookalike that were really better. So instead of saying just find me 3% lookalike on my audience, we were basically creating a new audience that had different parameter. And those parameters came from audience. So you can go far with this. So you can really say, okay, I have, different ands and how Penny is connecting to that social voice. You can really go far with social data. I was really impressed with those signals. And you can really go down to, in Switzerland, to local, preferences, which is interesting because remember, we wanted to do brick to click, right? So we wanted to, click to brick, sorry. So we wanted to send people to the pharmacy. So that was something very interesting to note. And obviously, we can take it even further. So once you know people, not even like from a personal perspective, you know the type of people that are consuming your content, you can create better blog articles, better content, better copies. So all of this is truly designed to create a better experience, which I believe is what we are all striving for when we create, this those content or those channels. So without further ado, this is what my customer that back then was sharing. It was good from a marketing perspective to bring back home some learnings from those tactics. They were not just numbers in Google Analytics, there were much more. And I think if you look at your advertising budget next time and you think how much you can extract from it, you could actually better defend why you do what you do. And I think this is to all of the people that hear me speak at conferences when I say, let's try to become a data-driven company and let's try to become, focus on performance marketing and that kind of thing. This is taking you closer to precision marketing. And I believe this is also when we talk a lot about Gen AI and that kind of thing, this is where you see me saying, yeah, let's first talk about data and what type of data, and then only start to automate and start building. Yes, there are some AI that we use within Magix that is helping us be smart about the audience studio of what we're using, but it's because we need to have a lot of data to true, right? So if you have any question, and if you want this case study, if you want me to share it, just put keyword like let's find a keyword like just put Kainjoo in the section below, and I will send you the case study to your inbox. If you have any question, any concern, if you want us to deep dive and bring even the customers to the table to see their side of the story, I'm happy to do that. I'm having a lot of questions on this. I have now business cases in alcohol, as I said, THC, CBD, pharma, OTC, RX. I have also gaming with those piggy, age restrictions. So we have a lot of regulated industries that are using us to basically do the right thing. We have also companies that are using us, like advertising companies that are using us, and I cannot disclose any names, but this technology is actually already serving, or this approach is already serving some big agencies and big outlets outside. So maybe without knowing, you're already participating into that data pool of ours. And where do we take this as a company? So obviously, we want to build a real platform that is a little bit more structured for every need so that we can connect Salesforce, Sprinkler, all those platforms that you guys use to into a better streamlined way, right? So that you become more of an enterprise class solution for trading desk and basically serving ads in a smart way. I'm in touch with Magix, and their CEO to explore, what we could do for bigger enterprises, and this is something that I'm also, if you're interested to invest in those type of technology, please reach out to me. And yeah, so hopefully this has been useful. You've been asking for who is this company, what do we do, why do we feel we are different? I truly feel we are making a difference, and we are building the components of what the industry or regulated industry needs in the future. So looking forward to chat with you. And if this was useful, yeah, please like and follow. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.